Greetings. Greetings. This is Uncle V. You know what I do, right? I unapologetically cover epic cash. You like this shirt? Huh? Well, when I post my show notes, or if you want to go back into the show notes of some previous videos, then right below my little introduction is a link where you can get your shirt. So do that. And if you take a picture of you wearing this shirt, I'll highlight it on the Uncle V show. How about that? How about that? So, all right. Today we have Max Freeman on the line, founder of Epic Cash. We have a lot to cover. I mean, a lot to cover. Also, Jaron is going to be joining us. And when he makes it, we're going to talk about this upcoming Friday and Saturday Equinox Summit that Max is going to be speaking at. And it is going to be fantastic. So you can go to tem.live, TEMM.live, and get your tickets. We'll talk about that when Jaron gets here. But in the meantime, wow. Max, I just want to share with you that over the past 2 weeks, the community engagement and energy in Telegram and elsewhere has been off the charts. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
It's amazing. I just want to give a shout out to some people, and I'm going to start doing this because I'm just sitting here being so impressed in the chats with different people that are just stepping up and wetting their oar in ways that are just wonderful. Let me share a wet oar. LW Freeman, I see you in your bubbles. Anybody who's in the Telegram chats and you see the Epic Cash bubbles to where we're pummeling every other crypto that's out there, well, you can thank LW Freeman for that. He goes to cryptobubbles.com and he filters it, whether it's to be able to compare us to other privacy coins or whatever. But bottom line, over the last 2 weeks, unless your head has been in the sand and you aren't paying attention, you will see that we have been swimming upstream to the carnage that is out there that we call crypto. And so it's really a wonderful sight to see. So LW, that is an oar in the water. And by the way, not just that, you are always in the chats and you are always keeping things light. You're funny, you're engaging, you help people. So thank you. You are the epitome of a high quality community member. So Max and I thank you. Justa Freeman, you're another one. You come up with these memes and such, and I wish you would do a few more that's 16 by 9. You do these square things. I can never use those as a thumbnail for my show, but maybe one day you'll start doing a few that are 16 by 9 that I can use. But I love your creativity. I love your memes. And I noticed you did one to where you made the comment, Epic Cash is my Bitcoin. Epic Cash is my Bitcoin. Epic Cash is my Bitcoin. I just love that. I think it should be a thing. I think it should be a t-shirt that is made. I would wear it. Epic Cash is my Bitcoin. It really, Epic Cash is my, and then, you know, the orange Bitcoin, right? That would just be so cool because it just speaks volumes as to what we're all about, and it might spark some conversation. So thank you, Justa, for that community engagement. And then I want to give a special shout out to, I should say, from the Oar in the Water file, a shout out to Epic Cash AU Down Under. So you can follow him on Twitter, AU_epic. He only has 71 followers, but man, oh man, he just is delivering some great content. I have really, there's big things in his future, just from being a community member stud. And I encourage everyone to please go to Twitter and follow him, AU_epic. And get this, he's a personal pronouns guy. Yeah. You know, I saw personal pronouns and I, kind of induced a little throw up in the back of my mouth until I read his 3. Here are his 3 personal pronouns. Get epic now. That's creative, man. That just made me giggle and chuckle. So the reason why I wanted to highlight him is he presented something to me that I had not heard of, but it's this kind of thinking that I really, really admire and appreciate from you, the community members. He sent me an article. Max, you can speak to this way better than I can, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about gold doping. He sent me this article. There you go. Premier breaks silence, claims he had no knowledge of gold doping at Perth Mint. Max Freeman, welcome to the show. Can you give us a little insight to what is gold doping and
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't?
No, I didn't catch that. I don't know.
Shit. I thought you did. Well, I can tell you. Gold doping. Let me see. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. The above is a video clip about Australia's Perth Mint making and selling diluted gold bars to China. This is an excellent example of how gold is not fungible. This makes Epic more fungible than gold. So yeah, it is all about the fact that in Perth they are creating these gold bars that they're selling to China, and they're lacing them with a lot of silver. So now people who are gold bugs, guess what? You're going to have to start wondering if your gold bar is really
okay, yeah. So I think it was 2021, maybe 2020. Definitely within the last couple of years, there was a big scandal. There was about $2 billion of, if I recall correctly, of gold bars in China that were discovered to be counterfeit. The chemical or the physical properties of tungsten are very close to gold, and so what happens a lot is there's just a small coating of gold on the outside where they test, and then on the inside it's tungsten, and so that's usually what happened. I was not familiar with the phrase gold doping, but I do know quite a bit about precious metals. So if you actually want to be sure that that's not happening, you can't just test one way or even 2 ways. You need 3. My friend runs this place, that one of the largest precious metals depositories in the world out of Singapore, and he created this thing called DUX testing, DUX, density, ultrasound, and X-ray, because you need all 3. And so I actually, back before I got into crypto, I used to fly around with gold coins in case I got stuck somewhere and needed to get on the last boat out of Saigon. And so I was flying around with various precious metals to test, okay, if I have to sell for local currency, what does that look like? And so I've actually got quite a bit of firsthand experience taking physical gold to dealers and seeing what they do with it and how long it takes. So I remember sitting in Asia one time for hours as they just painstakingly checked, not even that many, just like a tiny, like little bit, a couple $1,000s worth of gold coins, something like that. And then the logistics of getting the or I had to get a check and then go downstairs to the bank and then wait and almost get mugged and stuff. So the gold bugs, I know Mike Adams gave us a shout out recently and said, yeah, that crypto, I don't know about it, but I'm a precious metals guy. And then he correctly mentioned, but silver is really heavy. Yeah, if you've ever tried to carry a monster box of silver eagles, there's 500 ounces in there. That thing will throw your back out. You're not carrying 2 of those at once unless you're a power lifter. And then the inspection and the shipping and stuff like that. The round trip spread on precious metals between when you acquire it and when you dispose of it is easily north of 30%. So when you hear about the precious metals guys talking about, yeah, gold went from 1700 to 1800. Look, we're smart. Well, no, you're not covering your round trip spread. So precious metals have really had their time in the sun as far as a monetary device, and I don't think they will ever regain that, certainly with superior alternatives existing.
Max,
yeah.
Is Epic Cash more fungible than gold?
Absolutely, it is. So Epic, all Epic is interchangeable and identical. Every coin on the network is factory fresh from a new block. Every time it's spent, it's merged with every other coin in that block, and it's indistinguishable from new. They retain no trace of where they've been, which
And actually,
incidentally, yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, just yeah, I was meditating on this last night. I was burning the midnight oil on EDEX, which is pretty awesome and exciting to see that inching ever closer to something we can all actually use. The basis of things like VTEX and the AMM engines from Uniswap V3 going off of its BSL license here soon. Even V2 is really good. There's all that great stuff out there that we can do. And I was thinking about, okay, as what we're doing really takes root, let's say you have BTC and you cycle it through Epic. Well, just like when you wash your shirt, it becomes faded and a little worn out. You can't wash your shirt indefinitely over and over. Eventually, it's going to wear out. But these black Ministry of Supply Epic shirts that I've been wearing for years, that a lot of people have, those are indestructible. They're made of this high-tech material where you can wash them 100 times and they still look brand new. And so Epic is kind of like the Ministry of Supply high-tech shirt, whereas other coins are more like the cotton ones, the $5 ones that wear out after a few washes. And so with 50% of BTC having transited through the Silk Road, and now coins that went through Russia were starting to be, your users that had coins that had been through Russia were blacklisted at the start of the Ukraine war. I mean, any bit of the entire decade plus of network history of BTC and Litecoin and all these other coins, the powers that be can arbitrarily said, this address that did this thing back in 2016 is now politically unfavored, and your coins that came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hops from that, we're going to change the rules of the game here. So that you can't transact those anymore. I've been doing a lot of research into Silicon Valley Bank and Signature and Silvergate, and how did those guys blow up all of a sudden? Are they completely incompetent? Are they criminals? What's really going on there? And it turns out that they were basically pretty much forced into that position by Fed policy, by government policy, by regulation. Yeah, there's a lot of things to be mad about, but I don't really know what much else they could have done in that position. So wild times.
Fungibility can be something difficult for newbies to wrap their brain around, as to, it's a big word, and it's kind of like all coins are perfectly interchangeable. Okay, I get that. Well, what does that do? It makes tainted coins a thing of the past as far as us, right? So what you were just saying, you're never going to be able to have anyone point to your coins to be able to say those went down a path that we declare unsavory or against our political worldview. And with Bitcoin, you said 50% of all Bitcoin BTC went through Silk Road. So potentially, here's a thought. What if they come out and they say, hey, you have BTC that was one of those 50%. Do not worry. The spot price is $25,000. We will be able to exchange those for you right now, but your monetary return on that is going to be in the form of a CBDC. You heard me say it first. I bet you that is going to be one of the strategies, so that people will be able to realize that $25,000, but it's not going to be in fiat. It's going to be in central bank digital currencies, programmable money. Am I right, or am I right?
All bets are off. Nobody really knows. I mean, I can't imagine the powers that be are going to allow the great masses of unwashed like you and me to use our CBDCs to acquire foreign current, or to acquire cryptocurrency. The UK has pretty much prohibited its citizens from sending payments to crypto exchanges for the past 2-3 years. People in South Africa are used to capital controls where they can only make a certain number of foreign currency payments people in emerging markets have been dealing with this as a way of life for a long time. So yeah, when your money can be easily restricted as far as what it can be spent on, it doesn't take a lot of creativity and imagination to get your head around what type of things the controllers don't want you to do that you'll probably be prohibited from doing. And there's perfect surveillability, perfect traceability in those systems. I really don't know how anyone is going to get their hands on crypto, except for maybe I don't know, selling their services. Like if you're a massage therapist or something, and you hold out your phone wallet and somebody like pays you that way. I mean, I don't know who's going to do that with $10 transfer fees in
Max,
BTC or something.
That's a great segue into what I want to talk here. Coinbase responded to the news by updating the terms and conditions, prompting US-based clients to unstake several popular cryptocurrencies, including Solana, Cosmos. You posted that. Can you unpack that? You posted that in 06.
Yeah. So the consensus mechanism that Epic uses is the same as BTC, which is proof of work. We have 3 algorithms currently versus 1 for BTC, Monero, Litecoin, and they all have 1, so we call ours polyphasic. But ultimately, the way it works is people are running software to earn the newly created coins. And so for the past few years, it's really been a hot thing to say, well, that wastes electricity, that's bad for the environment. We're going to pander to this ESG idea, this climate hysteria, save the planet, this and that. Let's take the energy out by moving to proof of stake. And that seemed pretty smart for a while until it's not. And so the US government, as part of Operation Choke Point 2.0 and its all-out assault on everything crypto related, has decided to go after the centralized service providers that are the like the on ramps, the gateways, the off ramps, the exchanges, everybody who's all the places they can easily grasp and squeeze are experiencing pressure. And so Kraken got fined $30 million and was forced to shut down its staking service. The chief legal officer of Coinbase is on Twitter going, "Oh, this is really unfair. I thought we were the favorites of the government. Why are you doing this to us?" And they are shutting down the staking services of those coins. So the way it works in proof of stake for those networks is, instead of miners, independent miners that are running software to essentially purchase newly created currency units with electricity, the way it works is if you have 1% of the hash power in a proof of work network, you get 1% of the mining rewards. In proof of stake, if you have 1% of the coins, then you get 1% of the newly created coins. And so essentially what you've got is a Ponzi-like scheme where the network is an investment paying interest to people, which gives the regulators the cause to say, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. This thing is acting like an investment, and the people involved are engaging in a way that really feels like a security. So we're going to regulate it as such. And so Coinbase has turned off the ability for US clients to stake those networks. So less stakers means less security. It also means more wealth concentration in the hands of the wealthy whales. In the case of Ethereum, it's 70% pre-mine. Vitalik and his buddies redirected the rewards from independent miners running GPUs to themselves, basically, and really impacted the delicate game theory of these networks in a way that's going to be hard to predict. Yeah, great. Chris Black. Okay, this one is really good. Do you want to tee it up and then we'll talk about this? Because I think this is really super key here.
It is super key, but I'd like you to tee it up because you're way more articulate than me.
All right. So Vitalik, about 6-8 months ago, something like that. I'll dig up the link and send it around if I remember, but it's out there. Just Google Vitalik USDC Circle future hard forks. As part of this move to proof of stake. One thing I forgot to mention is that in a proof of work network, the miners control the network. Even if somebody owns half of the coins, they don't get to rewrite the rules to favor themselves. But in a proof of stake network, if you have half the coins, then you can rewrite the rules of the network to favor yourself, change the emission curve, screw the non 50% that aren't part of your camp, do whatever you want. And so as part of this move to proof of stake and really analyzing how that was going to go down, Vitalik admitted that effectively Circle has the power, USDC, owned by Goldman Sachs, partners with the Federal Reserve, the chosen one leading candidate for what a practical US CBDC will look like. Those guys have the power to determine the future course of network hard forks. And
so
the way that works,
the article here. So are these the quotes that you're
I believe so. I mean, I don't have it up on my.
It's on my.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely, yeah. So, so you know the hexagons, the pulse chain guys that are saying how awesome it's going to be. That I have one Aave token and one Chainlink, and now I'm going to have two. I'm going to have one on Ethereum and one on Pulse Chain. Well, that sounds awesome, but that's the same kind of thinking of the politicians in Washington saying that this bank bailout, creating hundreds of billions in newly created currency units, is not going to cost anyone anything. We're going to have free money from the sky. Economics, I believe in magic, but not when it comes to economics and finance. That's just simply misdirection and charlatanry and fraud. And so even when you split off a new network, like when Ethereum went to proof of stake, you had a contentious fork of people that didn't agree with that kept running the old network, and it was called ETH POW. I don't even know if it's still around. I think it hasn't died yet. Maybe people are still running it. But you had one USDC on Ethereum mainnet backed by $1 worth of value in treasury bills or cash or whatever at Circle. And then you have this other USDC on the new network, but it's not backed by $1. Now there's two USDCs and there's only $1 to back it. So who is going to believe in that USDC on the non-winning fork? No, only the one that Circle says, we're going to support that network. We're going to support the Vitalik proof of stake version of Ethereum, not the community proof of work version of Ethereum. So you've got an unelected power acting in its own interest, deciding the future of the network. And so if you really unpack that, the founder, creator, and leader of Ethereum, there's 1.1 million people on CoinGecko that have Ether in their portfolios that are watching, and they have $200 billion of value at stake there. And I would say not 1 in 10,000 understands what has really happened here, which is as follows. So the as Chris Black says. So USDC controls Ethereum. The government and Federal Reserve controls Circle. So you've got direct control through that mechanism of the network. And also 61% of Ethereum blocks are directly scrubbing, censoring, and filtering, refusing to process transactions that go to addresses that the OFAC, the Office of Foreign Assets Control, has placed on its sanctions list of SDN, specially designated nationals. So you've got the ability to control the network, and they are actually controlling it, objectively speaking, on a daily basis. So just as Bitcoin Core has given up the plot and said, well, we're just gonna accept that now we have the ability of people like the Canadian government to determine who can and can't use it, because if you do use it, we're going to ruin your life by going after your bank accounts and you lose your job and stuff like that. Now, nobody can say that Ethereum is borderless, because it's not. People in Syria, Crimea, Venezuela, a place that's politically not copacetic with the United States, people in that region can't use it. So you're not borderless anymore. You're not censorship resistant because more than half of blocks are actively censored. You're not decentralized because instead of 2 billion GPUs able to mine and people used to be able to run nodes, now unless you have $50,000 worth of ether, you can't stake, you can't mine it anymore.
Let's get down to the brass tacks. What does this mean for people, and how does all of this shit relate to Epic Cash, Max?
So all of this is a spray of extra strength Lysol to kill off all of these weaker projects that have got these design flaws. And as they are running the relay race with a backpack full of rocks and their shoelaces tied together and both arms tied behind their backs, we are just sailing along or racing along unimpeded because we don't face any of those headwinds and that friction to hold us back. So strange as it seems, Jerome Powell, thank you. Joe Biden, thank you. Elizabeth Warren, thank you from the bottom of all of the Freeman family's hearts for taking out the competition and really like making it so that people who otherwise would have been complacent and said, "Oh, my banking system has worked for me all my life. Why would I even change? I'm 50 years old now." Well, now you are forced to change because in Nigeria they are rioting on the streets, destroying ATMs because you can only pull out $45 of cash. We've seen banking related social unrest all around the world, and that's driving people to us.
Jaronism is in the house.
Greetings.
My name is Jaronism, and I unapologetically cover the true earth.
There you go.
Hey, buddy.
How are you guys?
Good. Everybody. Jaronism, who is you have to go to jaronism.com. You have to search for Jaronism within Telegram. You just have to know him and you just have to follow him. And, you know, he may break your brain, but in a very, very good way. But he happens to be one of a couple people who are hosting a summit this weekend. It's a 2-day summit, Friday and Saturday, March 17th and 18th. I believe it begins at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And it goes, for the 2 days. So let me do this before we jump in and talk to you about it, Jaron.
Sure.
By the way, I have Max Freeman, peace be upon him, on the line as well.
Peace be upon him always. Yes.
Let me share the screen, everybody.
Had nobody told you about Mike Adams?
Dude, that is going to be my next video. Yeah,
right
after this. I was waiting for you. Hold on. Here we go, everyone. Let's watch this. And I really want you to consider, and there's a good guy, a good gal message here for those of you who attend. It has not been revealed yet. I've been working with Max and Enrique L. McMurphy on this, but you are going to like it. You are going to appreciate it. And it's going to be awesome. So let's watch this first. All right, shall we? Yes, we shall. Oops. Maybe smart people like me might want to share the sound. I'm just saying. So bear with me again. Let me just do a do-over. Hit share sound. And boom. Boom.
In a world where everything seems so chaotic, so out of balance and out of harmony, where do you turn for stability?
Jaron.
The answer is the True Earth Equinox Virtual Summit. A virtual gathering of the world's foremost experts on balance, harmony, and resonance. This is your chance to join a community of like-minded individuals seeking equilibrium in their lives, just as the equinox brings balance to day and night. Get ready to be inspired and empowered by a lineup of exceptional speakers, including Brian from High Impact Flicks, Dave Murphy, David Avocado Wolf, and Max Freeman, the man behind Epic Cash. From Crow 777 Radio, we have Crow with Jason Lindgren and Rose 777. From the Globe Busters, we have Zachary Zabala and Iru Lenducci. Also presenting will be Bro Sanchez from Bro Sanchez TV and Amanda Vollmer from Yummy.Doctor.
Love her.
As well as Clara Loretta from Spirit Vehicle. From the Gnostic Academy, we have Marty Leeds, and from the Serapeum.com, Dustin Nemos. We also welcome podcast co-hosts, Caleb and Derek, both from TikTok. We look forward to a special presentation from Austin Thompson and the Melodome. With him is Mike from THCshow.live, as well as Flatman X, Chris Vick. Don't miss the live Q&A panel featuring David Weiss from DITRH, Sean Hibbler from Hibbler Productions, David Avocado Wolf, Amanda Vollmer, and your summit hosts, Jaron Campanella from Jaronism, and Austin Whitsitt from Whitsitt Gets It, where they will be fielding questions from the VIP audience. But that's not all. The True Earth Equinox Summit also features musical interludes from Christopher Crumb and stand-up comedy from Sam Tripoli from the Tinfoil Hat podcast. This is an event that will not only educate and inform, but also entertain and inspire. So don't wait. Join us for the True Earth Equinox Virtual Summit. Friday and Saturday, March 17th and 18th, 2023. Tickets are on sale now at Thames.live. We can't wait to see you at the first ever True Earth Equinox Summit.
Is that you, Jaron?
It is. You caught me. Right before I cut my hair.
All right, everyone. How do we get there? We go to Thames.live. So let's do that right now, just so that I can show you. We're going to let the music end because that would just suck to end on a... We're going to let it go. So you can enjoy the music, enjoy the rain.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I'm going to get you your code. I remember now.
Here my okay, stop share. Now let's share again. And we're going to go to Thames.live. And this is where you'll be able to find the lineup of speakers. And you will see here that Max Freeman is featured. Max is going to be on Friday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. And Saturday. I'm sorry. Thank you. Saturday. And if you take a look at all of these, I call them thought leaders because they really are creative thought leaders out there. These are people who, Jaron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the majority of them have experienced some kind of censorship over the last few years. Yes? No?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you're talking the truth, for sure.
And these folks, I did my own little research. And if you take a look at the reach, when you look at their different subscriber bases, you're talking about one conference to where all their subscribers are exposed to this. So they're promoting this event just like I'm promoting this event so that we could support Max because he is the only person who is going to be talking about crypto. And there was a reason, and I'm going to ask you this, Jaron. Don't answer yet, but I am going to ask you, why Epic Cash? Why Max Freeman? What is it that appeals to you? And these thought leaders as well. But I did my homework. Their subscriber base is upwards of 1.5 million. So this is the potential exposure of being able to get the message of each one of these out, cross-pollinate, which is what I love about this, cross-pollinate amongst all of our communities. So how do you do it and how do you support Max? Well, there's only 1 day and 11 hours left. Let's start there. You click on buy tickets. and you can have the general admission, or you can pay $25 more to get the VIP, which is what I did. And this is a perfect opportunity, Jaron. What kind of goodies does somebody get for VIP? Why should I pay the extra $25?
Sure. So there's a panel on Friday night, which is going to be, I think we said 6 of us or so: Amanda Vollmer, David Avocado Wolf, Dave Weiss, which is the worst name on the whole list. It would be a great line if we didn't have Dave Weiss, but that's right. Dave Weiss will be there, myself, Austin. So the VIPs will actually be in the Zoom meeting, so they can ask questions, whereas the general admission people would be watching somewhere else, so they would not be able to ask. And then on Saturday, we have Crow 777, which a lot of people who watch Crow 777 radio or watch that podcast know how awesome he is. Well, he's giving us a full hour of Q&A for the VIPs. So that's something that's rare. I don't know anywhere else where you could spend an hour talking to Crow. So that's what the VIPs get there. And then on top of that, we have what we call gift bags, virtual gift bags. So we try and get everybody who's involved to give something to the audience, and they usually give a much better prize for the VIPs. So, for instance, I think Crow gave 5 year-long subscriptions to his website away, and those will be raffled off to just the VIPs. And then David Weiss gave a free app and a free app to everyone who's a VIP. If you don't have an iPhone, if you have an iPhone, then you'll get a free Android app, because you can't give away free iPhone apps, but you can give away free Android. You can give it to a friend or flat smack somebody. And then also a free subscription to the app, which is like $12 a year, I think. So he's giving one of those to every VIP. So there's things like that. I could name some other things off the top of my head, but maybe
I can name one.
Sure, go ahead.
There's this Max Freeman guy speaking.
I heard of him.
And he's going to announce that actually, I think it extends to not just VIP, but we're extending it to anybody who is in general admission or VIP. That if you join Epic Equinox, t.me/Epic Equinox, and you just come in and say hello and be involved in that community. At a point in time in the future, and we're waiting because our Epic Pay wallet, we identified some bugs. I wish it would be ready for this conference, but we want it to be a seamless user experience. So we're thinking about the first week of April, we would be able to communicate to everyone who is in that t.me/Epic Equinox that we confirm from you was actually a paid participant here. So we don't want anybody just going in there and saying it's me. We are going to confirm it. But we are going to give you, and I say this all the time, whenever I give somebody one Epic Cash, I believe with all my heart in this project that one day, it's not if, it's when, that's going to be $1,000. So we're going to give everyone 5 Epic Cash. So I look at that at minimum $5,000 for those who hold and have patience and put an oar in the water and help us get there. So, that alone, even at today's pricing, it's a couple bucks. So that's $10. But so how do you qualify for that? Well, let's say that I'm going to order a VIP. You buy now, and let's say you want to, just to make it easy, pay with PayPal. Continue. Now, this is the drop down. This is what's important, because we want Max to be invited back next year. And that means, you and your partner are going to be discerning. You're going to be looking and say, well, how many people came from Max? Well, this is how we're going to tell. You're going to click Max Freeman, Epic Cash, and then you're going to pay. So then you will know that if I am the subscriber right now, that I am of the Epic Cash community likely. And this is what I haven't revealed to everyone. For those people who sign up under Max Freeman, in addition to qualifying for the 5 free Epic Cash, you are going to be able to get 20 EIOUs. Max, can you do me a favor? Max Freeman, peace be upon him. Can you do me a favor and explain what an EIOU is, Max, please?
So an EIOU is a placeholder for $1 worth of, worth of Epic in the future. We had a value overflow incident, a bug 2 years ago, when one of our exchange partners got hacked, and we decided to socialize the loss through creative strategies by uniting as a community to insulate those people from loss. And we turned the lemons into lemonade by using that as a way to pass the hat and get some stuff funded, like Change Now and CoinStore and so forth. So you can think of an EIOU token as a placeholder for, you don't know when, you don't know what the price of Epic will be at that time and how many actual Epic coins you're going to get, but you do know that you're supporting the project and that you will get $1 worth of Epic as and when those are redeemed. We've redeemed quite a few of them already in test runs, and we'll continue to do more as more fresh capital cycles into the ecosystem. We're going to knock all those out and redeem them at par.
And I will show you this as well. This is do you have a Jose from your side, Jaron?
No.
Okay, I don't know who he's talking about, Jose. All right, let me just explain this. So El McMurphy, who basically is our CFO, if our project could have a CFO, he says the way this is going to work is we'll get an email list from you, Jaron, after this is all done, of people who signed up through Max. We will then send an email out to them with instructions. We'll get the email list from the event organizers and then send emails to each person who voted or subscribed through Max requesting their VEET addresses. So we would show them exactly how, so that there's no confusion of in VEET, how to be able to get your EIOU token. So it'll be totally clean. And then you're going to have 1 week to be able to send back your VEET address, and that will be included as well. So we're giving people plenty of time, but we want this to really be of value. So the 5 Epic Cash you'll receive likely in April. And I'm sorry that we can't make that immediate. You know, we did the giveaway with you and we were able to do it immediately, but we are so close to where, I mean, we hit Control-Alt-Delete on this Epic box that makes the transaction seamless where you don't have to be on the whole time. And it is rocking and rolling. So we were very, very tempted to try to go ahead and do that. But, you know, Sky King, who is wiser than me, said, hold your britches. Let's not create any potential negative experience. It's worth patiently waiting. So when we do communicate to the folks within t.me/Epic Equinox, it will be, all they have to do is download the Epic Pay wallet, drop their receive address, and then they don't have to wait and keep their wallet open or anything like we've had to do in the past. It'll just show up the next time that they launch their Epic Pay app. So that is the good news. So, all right. Well, Jaron, thanks for being here. Would love for you to just kind of give us a little backstory on how did this summit come about? What was the genesis, and what do you think people who go to it are going to get out of it?
Yeah, so I don't know if people know who my partner is, or he was on Glowbusters with me. His name is Austin Whitsitt, incredibly smart, intelligent young man. I say, I just call him a kid. He's much younger than me. But we were just talking one night, and it was kind of after one of these, things where people are infighting, and it just kind of was like, how do we bring people back together, focus everybody, whereas people kind of get frazzled and go their own directions. And so we kind of started thinking about an online summit, but I'd spoken at a couple of them. I'd spoke at some for David Avocado Wolf and some other ones, and I just was like, well, I thought that we should reimburse speakers. I said, it'd be great if we could support speakers somehow through it. And I said, can we pay them? Is there a way that we can offer to pay? So we just kind of were talking about it all, and we wanted to keep the price low. We didn't think that if $150 or something is a good price for an online summit. So we tried to get the price where it seemed correct, where we could support the speakers and provide a good event. So we did what was called the Mount Meru Summit. That was in November of 2022, and it went beyond great. Really, people loved it. then we got all kinds of emails from people saying, hey, we don't know if you realize this, but they said, Jaron, you alone put out 10 to 12 hours of live content a week. And they kind of said, nobody has that kind of time. And I guess I'd never really considered it, but that is a lot of time. If somebody was to watch all my stuff for the week, that's a good portion of their week, right? So these people were saying that when they have jobs or they've got kids, they've got families, that they maybe only have a few hours a week to dedicate to kind of catching up. And they said this was a great event because they were able to take 15 different presenters and get kind of their condensed 1 hour version of what they've been up to, right? What they've been researching. So we kind of looked at it in a new way and said, okay, we see why it could be really valuable, what we're doing here. And so we decided to run another one, and we're having this one, and we're going to do another one as well. We're going to do one called the Solstice in late July. So the goal would be, if we keep these going, would be to have like 3 a year, to where we're kind of mixing and replacing and kind of whatever you want to call it, rotating the speakers, getting some new people in, getting some new voices heard, people who are kind of up and coming in the community who maybe haven't had their voice heard yet or are banned from YouTube or whatever, so they're not getting their voice heard by enough people. This would be a place where they can kind of springboard. So all in all, and then we kind of looked at this thing where we said, could we make it so everybody wins? And we kind of thought about, so if people don't know, when you do sign up under one of these guys' names, they actually make about half of the proceeds. So for instance, if you sign up under Max, he gets a certain amount of that $50.
Let me interrupt.
Let's just clarify. I agreed to donate all the proceeds that I get to the project. So that doesn't actually go to me, but thank you for mentioning.
Right. Okay,
Actually, Max, I was going to talk to you about this because I know some folks have been doing this and I really like it. How about whatever proceeds are generated, that just goes back to the event. So that gives Jaron.
Or we could do that too. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's easier, and I think that just is us investing in you putting on an amazing event, Jaron.
Thank you.
Can I have an ask then, Jaron? Since you're an Epic believer and an accumulator and a holder, and you've got a wet ore, so thank you for doing this. May I suggest that money that you would have paid me as a promotional consideration to help bring people along, since it's kind of found money for you, would you consider taking some or all of that and going and buying Epic on the open market? And that way you grow with us. How does that sound?
Oh, I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that works great.
All right. Win, win, win.
Definitely found. So that's kind of what we looked at, right? We wanted a win-win for everybody. And so as far as the person who's paying $50, you might say, well, what's my win, right? Well, you're getting that 2 days of entertainment, which alone, we have Sam Tripoli doing comedy. Last time we had Alex Stein and Owen Benjamin. This time we've got Sam Tripoli for a half hour. I think it's $50 if you were to buy a ticket to a Sam Tripoli comedy show.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you're getting a little longer than a half hour. Maybe you're getting an hour or something. But you put value there. We have music. We've got 2 days worth of the event. And then what we wanted to do with this coupon code or with these gift bags is to provide, and I think it's going to get more and more every time we do this. So meaning that people are going to start supplying the people who are coming with more and more goodies, freebies, things like that. Because what it does, let's say you've got an online store. It might be tough to reach truthers. How do I get my link out to truthers? Well, with an event like this, where you offer a 25% discount to VIPs and 10% to general admission, and then all the summit goers are actually getting the link in their gift bag to your store. So now we're promoting people in the community that have stores, that have websites, that have maybe subscription packages or something. For instance, I do consultations, different kinds. People know I on board with crypto, on board with Epic. And so my consultations are usually $100 an hour, and then it goes down from there versus how many hours you buy. But I offer a 50% discount to the VIPs. So you figure if you're going to get a consultation with me for $100 an hour, now you're getting 50% off that. So you're saving $50. So that just with me, if you were just to do one consultation for 1 hour, you've made that money in the price of the event. So now you figure, now you've got David Avocado Wolf doing the same thing, Amanda Vollmer giving discounts to her store. You've got, like I said, Crow 777 with discounts to his website service or subscription. So you can just go down the list and you start Epic Cash. You're going to make some Epic Cash. So you can see where this time it's going to be great. And then even next time, we're going to even do better at getting more and more freebies. Last time we had a free ebook that was like a $29.99 if you were to pay for it, but everybody got it for free. So that's our ultimate goal. Is we kind of looked at it, and then it just all started to fall together to where we said, okay, we can offer an event that's a good price for people, a good price point that seems feasible. $50 for 20 speakers for 2 days for.
It's amazing, actually.
Yeah, so we're happy with it, and we've kind of promised people we're not going to raise that price. It's not one of those things where next time you're going to, oh, now it's $95. Oh, now it's $115. Right. We think we can do it at that price point.
Yeah, just grow the pie.
Just grow the pie. Exactly. So that's the goal. So that's it.
And I understand that as for everyone who's a VIP member, they automatically get a dedicated everybody gets a dedicated hour with Dave Weiss on a Zoom call. And but that for if you're a VIP, then he gives you a coupon code where you don't have to hang with him. It just he just won't, you don't
more than admission, right?
Well, hey, speaking of Dave Weiss, I want to share this with you. Dave Weiss yesterday morning sent me a link saying you guys need to reach out to shit. Why am I having a
Mike Adams?
Mike Adams. Yeah. Mike Adams. Now, one of our community members, Sky King, he was actually in the Health Ranger Reports chat, and he was talking about XMR, Monero, a week before what you're going to hear now. And Sky King said, whoa, you need to focus on Epic Cash and start learning about Epic Cash. And here is the net result. Let me share this with you. Share sound is on. Now, I titled this live stream. What did I title it? I titled it $10 Epic Cash, the spark that started it all. ... Mike Adams. So I'm just projecting into the future of what I think is going to happen. If I'm Todd Radamas, we have already have our best outreach person, Dark Star, shout out, doing an outreach to speak with Mike and get Max Freeman on his show. Once Max is on his show, it's game over. I just know with all my heart it's game over. Everybody here listening who has been paying attention for the last 2 years knows what I speaketh. All right, let's listen.
See massive demand on gold and silver this week, and well, for weeks to come. Massive. You're going to see more people, frankly, getting into crypto, I think. I do. Even though crypto's got its own problems and its own risks and so on, but at least it's an alternative that regulators can't easily touch and that is very portable. And I talked last week about Monero XMR, which is a privacy crypto. And then one of our listeners, whoever you are, thank you,
Sky King,
sent in a note, said, oh, I should be talking about Epic Cash. So I don't know anything about Epic Cash, but I looked it up. Yes, it looks like a peer-to-peer decentralized system. I'd love to interview somebody from Epic Cash if you're listening. Like to find out more, because we need alternatives. We need peer-to-peer decentralized systems to handle transactions and transfer money outside the banking system, because the banking system is going to crater. Mm-hmm. Now, I believe in gold and silver because it's simple, it's real, it's physical, but it's also hard to transfer a bunch of silver. You're trying to load it up in your pockets, any substantial sum of money, it gets heavy. Yeah, trust me, it gets heavy. You buy a case of silver, you're like, dang, that's a lot of weight and not even that much money. Like, it's going to be hard to lug this thing around, So there are pros and cons to every system, and it's good to have a lot of diversity in your assets just in case. And by the way, some of these wallet systems that you can download to your phone or your computer.
All right, that's
wallet software, crypto wallets.
Let me,
there's one called Cake Wallet.
A monster box of silver is 34 pounds, not including the packaging it comes in.
So is that why, Jaron?
Well, it's funny for me. There's actually so many benefits to cryptocurrency over physical cash that I never knew. I mean, if you would ask me 3 years ago, I would say, "Oh, physical, no brainer, gold and silver over crypto." But over time, I learned that basically anything physical can be counterfeited, right? I mean, you could counterfeit the Mona Lisa. You could have somebody who knows about painting who can go in there and steal that for a weekend and repaint it and make it look identical and could probably sell it as legit. Same thing with any kind of gold bar. I mean, I think they did an audit one time and like 8% of the gold inside the vaults is fake, which is insane to think about. How did it get through and get all the way to the vault? But it's just, painted tungsten or something like that that's got this gold paint on it. Yeah. So you can't counterfeit a Bitcoin. You can't counterfeit an Epic coin. Just impossible. There, you have to
hold on, Jaron. Actually, you can. And so there are 19 million BTC coins at the network layer, 19.2,
right.
But the effective supply is 44 to 50 million because the financial system is counterfeiting through fractional reserve and rehypothecation. Because when your listeners, I'm assuming the people that you're coaching take the time to pull their coins off exchanges and self-custody them. In this case, they are not exposed to that. But over 90% of people choose to leave their coins in third-party custody. And the vast majority of those custodians do financial activities that effectively increase the supply. So if I have a coin on Coinbase, it's showing up for me, they lend it out. I don't know what their policies are, but let's just use them as an example. And then they lend it out to somebody. Now they have that one BTC on their balance sheet, and then they do it again, and they do it again. It's the same thing as the traditional banking system. So that used to be the case for BTC. It still is for Epic today. But that's one of those things that Bitcoin has lost over the years.
So yeah, and I agree with you. The one way I consider it different is when I'm talking crypto, I'm always talking person-to-person exchange of value, right? So as soon as you've invoked a third party, you've taken your coin and you have it at Coinbase, or you've got it. Well, now you're kind of you're playing with fire, right? We know that banks do fractional reserve lending. They're lending out stuff they don't have. So yeah, when I'm talking about counterfeiting, I mean, yes, they can fractional reserve cash or money, fiat that we have now. But as far as counterfeiting, you can also counterfeit money. Now they take huge steps to make sure that doesn't happen, right? This is why you've got the stripe inside the $100 bill and things like that. Because if somebody can just go and print it on their printer in their house, then money loses all value, right? So the great thing about something like crypto is that really I can't print it at my house. I can't make additional Bitcoin. Either I've got the private key or I don't. Now, again, fractional reserve lending, then you're playing with fire. You've got people lending out coins that don't exist. So
what percentage of people who hold Bitcoin or claim to hold Bitcoin do you think are keeping it, are not holding their own custody?
90, maybe 95%, maybe closer to 100. It might be 97, 98, or 99.
Really?
Are relying on third-party custody. Absolutely. Yeah. There's 350 million crypto owners. Of those, about half own BTC. If you look at places like Robinhood or PayPal, or I don't know if Cash App and Strike allow you to self-custody currently, but most of these places didn't when they started, and many still don't. So yeah, it's overwhelming. I mean, if you think about it, it's complicated, it's stressful. There was that guy in the chat today that said he only wrote down 23 of his 24 seed words. So sayonara, tough luck. Education is expensive. These are real problems. And we, among many others, are thinking very hard about.
Max just getting a phone call.
Well, that person who wrote down 23, I mean, that's not the end of his money. I mean, it's just, it's going to take you a while, but there's only, you have what, 2,400?
7,000. I think 7,000. It depends which list they pull from.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw that. But I mean, if you're that careless, I don't mean that as a slight, but if you're careless and you wrote down only 23, how do you know that you wrote them in the right order? Right. A lot of these interfaces are very confusing. If you notice in the Epic Pay wallet, it gives you the words and it says number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. I lost a lot of money earlier in my crypto journey because I didn't know if it was right to left or left to right, and every app did it differently. Or like sometimes my handwriting sucks and I would miss a letter or something. When I say education is expensive, because I've got the invoices to prove it for my own stupid losses. And a lot of it is stuff like that.
Speaking of missing a letter or adding a letter, I want to do a public service announcement. There's some freaking scumbag out there who is an imposter. And I just want you to look at this. Initially, it looks fine, right? The Uncle Vigilante, until you look a little closer and you take a look that he has two eyes in there. And so what happens is you have Uncle Vigilante reaching out to you, and they come out with all these exorbitant reasons as to why. And so just please, 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 I will never DM you. No admins within Epic Cash will ever DM you. Let me share another one. I believe this is Mother Trucker. And look at this, folks. This is a public service announcement. So she, quote unquote, Mother Trucker, reached out to this person who was saying that he was having an issue. So she DM'd me and said, no, it was linked to my account. This is to fix my inability to connect to 51 Pool Mine. How do I fix this? So then she comes up with this. You need to re-authenticate your Epic mobile wallet to the system through the Wallet Connect link for you not to occur any error or issue. One, go to, and this is their link, right? The scumbag scammers link. Choose the wallet you want to use for the processing or Wallet Connect on the downspace. 3, connect your wallet manually. You need to enter text or key, copy and paste the text or key to your wallet. 4, import the text key for the confirmation process to be done on the system within 2 to 3 minutes. Kindly do it now and get back with me. Yeah, not happening, said somebody. So, but this, please, everybody, it's getting serious out there. We're getting a lot more people who are imposters. And man, it breaks my heart when somebody comes in and they were scammed. But we are growing so fast now, and it's happening more and more. You have to auto hoax everything that comes in your DM. And there was a guy in the community dentist this morning who, in 3 different chats, said that he wanted to trade 4XMR to be able to get BTC, and I mean, to be able to get Epic Cash. And could somebody please help him do that? And DM me. And I'm like, no, we don't tell people, even if you're not a scammer, you may be a scammer. Maybe you're likely a scammer. I don't know, but that's not how we roll in here. And so, okay, I just had to get that out because that was one thing that was on my mind.
No, it happens in all the communities. There's somebody going around with my fake name and telling people I got arrested and that I need Bitcoin to be bailed out or something. I don't think anybody's fallen for it yet, but it just sucks to hear that, because I would never reach out to people on Telegram to save me from being arrested or something.
Well, but
one telltale, as you were showing that on screen, if you notice that the English was very sloppy, obviously a foreigner. The punctuation and spacing,
100%.
So if the literacy isn't there, that's one telltale. Little things like I, L, and 1 can all be easily replaced. O to 0, uppercase O, lowercase o, stuff like that.
Yep.
So just develop an eagle eye, and always have that quarter red flag up. If you do think you're talking to an admin, then just send a message through the main chat and just go at McMurphy, at Mother Trucker, at whoever, and say, is this really you DMing me? There's also Epicenter Security, that shout out to Bad Wolf. She teaches people how to stay safe. Also Scam Gallery. There is no excuse for this. And if you take the time to know how to stay safe out there, and it doesn't take that much time, even 5-10 minutes is enough, then you'll insulate yourself from almost all of this.
Yeah. I was trying to find the picture. Max always sends this picture of this guy going like
Roger Ver. yeah, Roger Ver. He got really angry one time. Somebody was taunting him, saying B Cash, Bitcoin trash. You think we got it bad? That poor guy. They used to call him Bitcoin Jesus. And then as part of the block wars, he became a pariah, and somebody was taunting him so bad that he just like roar, like screamed and flipped the guy off and then hung up. And for years, people have been making memes of that. So whenever I get I hate to say it, but almost all these guys are based out of Africa. Like sometimes I ask them for curried goat recipes or ask for directions. What's the best roadside cafe in Senegal, stuff like that. But just for efficiency's sake, I started sending them Roger Ver pics. So have some fun with it if they're going to waste your time.
Here's my that I'm sending.
Yeah. Yeah, I told this one on Facebook the other day. I was like, "Hey, how are you today?" I said, my hemorrhoids are itching, but aside from that, I'm doing great."
So back to when I started today about the community. I do want to give one big, huge shout out to Black Tiger and his wife. I believe it's Casio or Cosio. I have a wonderful thank you letter from both of them where they both signed it. Now I want to show you. I bid on this Mandela, Epic Cash Mandela. I just got it this last week, and I want to show you. I'm contemplating putting it here, but I'm kind of a creature of habit. I don't know if I'm going to, but let me show it to you. But is this not astonishing? Just check. I mean, look at the detail work on that. It's just phenomenal, So thank you. And what's going to be cool, I hope this is a little pizza story. I bid 1,750 Epic Cash to get this. Now, at the time, that was like $700. Okay. And I can't wait for the day that it's $175,000 and I show it again. I can't wait for the day it's $1.75 million and I show it again. Can you imagine one day that thing? It's just going to be, to me, it's all about the story, and it's about an amazing community of which ours is, I believe, second to none.
Any artists out there, if you want to DM me and show me your type of work, I buy tons of epic art. I probably got a dozen pieces.
Yep.
Pretty much almost anything anybody makes, I usually buy it or bid on it. I was actually sleeping in prior auctions. I kind of shot myself in the foot by bidding too early, and then ended up paying like triple or 10x as other people came in. And so you paid $700. I hope you don't mind. You always have the story of the first one, but when I missed out, I pinged Black Tiger and said, "Oh man, I really want one of those. Could she make me another?" And he said, "Yeah, but it wouldn't be worth it unless you could pay us $2,000." And I'm like, done. So she's been working on it for a while.
Awesome.
So
well,
yeah, I've been supporting
it's
epic
funny.
artists since the beginning, and I'll continue to.
You sly little Max Freeman, peace be upon you. It was the 3-hour difference because you were like, "Oh, I thought it was 7 p.m. My Pacific time."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that little bastard, he was going to come and do.
I was going to snipe you, right? Yeah, like 1 second before. Yeah, I was going to go snipe you.
No, because I had my. I mean, I was right there because
you don't know how much I would have paid. Black Tiger, like you could have asked me for a lot more than $2,000, buddy.
Well,
I love that kind of stuff. I had somebody back during the last ICO boom make me this piece of custom art. It's like 8 feet by 8 feet, and there's nothing epic related in there because it was before we launched. But next time we go for a bull run, maybe $100 or something, I'll have him do another. So yeah, I love that type of stuff, and I really think that as we go forward, that type of stuff has a lot of value as all of us become obscenely wealthy from what we're doing. $1 million for that piece is a lot in dollar terms, but if for you it's 700, or $500 worth of epic at your cost basis, and you're thinking of it that way, then you can justify some crazy numbers.
Yeah, yeah. So with all of that, I've talked about a lot of community members, and I think what makes our community special is our Epic Cash tip bot. So I really encourage all of you in the community who are putting that proverbial oar in the water, make sure you have an Epic Cash tip bot set up. It's really easy to do. Just go to t.me/Epic Cash and ask, or the help desk and ask, get it set up. And then, when I just find our community to be incredibly giving. I see 5 Epic Cash tip, 25 max. You're always good for 50 or 100 sometimes. It's crazy. And I just, to me, it brings me a lot of joy to be able to see that. And hey, sorry, DK Miner. I know that you accused me of just pumping and dumping. And like I told you this morning, you can go pound sand, because I've never sold one Epic Cash. I don't pump and dump. I educate and hold. So like I said, if you want to launch a YouTube channel and do better, God bless America. I will tip you if you set up a Epic Cash tip bot. The more people talking Epic Cash, the better. So yeah, let's first of all, Jaron, anything else from you? Can you share with people? Actually, if you don't mind, I want to take a few minutes, because I know the topics that you cover, sometimes folks are allergic to it, right? And I got a lot of shit for doing the with you and Dave Weiss, the flat earth. Gosh, what was it? Over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And it blew my mind how many people it just, totally offended their sensibilities. Just like, what? Now, I went down the rabbit hole myself, and I don't care what anybody thinks the shape of the earth is. I don't know, because I've never been up there. But I will tell you that, if you are curious at all and you are not under the spell of the mainstream media, it takes about 10 seconds to recognize that we never went to the freaking moon. Now, once you know that, you can start reverse engineering everything, and it is a rabbit hole. But what I admire about you, your community, I have found some of the smartest people on the planet come from
Anyway.
What's that? On the plane.
Not the planet. But anyway, go ahead.
but are the ones who are open to this, that don't just take the spell from the mainstream media news and that narrative. So but can you just tell me,
So most of the people that watch you, I know, are awake, right? You would consider that. You would say that they're at least alert, aware of the lies going on.
I think probably I'd say 60%, but there's definitely 40%. I had one person come at me hard.
Well, how about they're not to the actual shape of the earth, but I'm talking about to truth in general. How many people are awake to some sort of truth?
Yeah, I think very much so, because
Okay.
if you are into Epic Cash, then you know that there are Druid Babylonian bastards out there who do not have your best interests at heart.
Right. And we know that we just went through 3 years of lies, right? And we see that they can lie about things that are right.
100%.
They can lie about things that you can go and verify yourself right now, and you can find out that they're lying. So why anybody would come to the conclusion that, but the thing they're telling me the truth about is the stuff I'll never see, the stuff in the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
The distances to the stars and what these planets are made of and that's what they're telling me the truth about. That is an insane belief, to think that, everything they lie about here, but then the stuff that we'll never be able to tell if they're lying, that's what they're telling us the truth about. That's insane to me. It would be the opposite way. It would be the bigger. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's just too scary. I lived in a comfortable little bubble up until mid 2021, and then Dave Weiss, that bastard, grabbed a wet haddock and flat smacked me, and I've been just in this state of confusion ever since. I'm trying to go through a defluoridation regime for my brain. Trying to eat healthy and avoid 5G, because I'm just like, I don't know anything anymore. And so you just have to start from zero and assume everything's a lie, and have beginner's mind and look at everything with a fresh pair of eyes. And so it's just too scary. You peel away the onion layer and it's just like, oh my God, everything is a lie. I mean, there's abundantly more lie than truth, and you can't even believe your eyes anymore with deep fakes. And even the nature of our physical reality. I used to be into science pretty heavy, and now I realize that I was temporarily bewitched by scientism. And I've started revealing the internal contradictions there. So, I'm not really sure of anything anymore. And that's scary. It's easier just to put the blinders back on, take that blue pill and go back to sleep.
And there's signs of it everywhere. And it's just not, it's how closely you pay attention, right? And how, like, evolution is something that is untenable scientifically. Now, that's difficult for people to hear that are into science, because it's been forced down people's throats. It's been forced into the minds of every student that goes to any kind of college or university. But now some of the biggest names are admitting that there is no transitional fossils and things that even Darwin said, if this doesn't happen, then my theory doesn't work. And basically, you can go back in the fossil record, you can see that alligators just appear. Alligator. And the alligator's still here. There's no, oh, it was this, and this fish grew legs and came out of the water and became. There's nothing like that. So there's little things about science that we are now learning that tell us that, yes, there's a very highly biased group of people who have a certain worldview. That worldview doesn't include a creator, doesn't include things that people who are religious might include. And so they force their evidence into those boxes. And what happens when you do that is you build huge structures on faulty foundations, right? And what happens to that? Eventually, those foundations will crumble. And we're getting kind of to that point where some of these foundational things crumble. People have heard me talk about Edwin Hubble. Edwin Hubble is somebody who came up with the idea of the expanding universe, and that, because he saw these galaxies moving away from us, which anybody else who would see that would recognize, oh, we're the center. If every direction we look, things are moving away from us, you could surmise that we are the center. Well, what he didn't want is that he didn't want that. He said to stay away from the absolute horror of a unique position. Basically saying that no matter what we do here in this scientific enterprise, we have to stay away from the idea that we are the center. So they came up with the idea of, well, what if we put a bunch of dots on a balloon and you blow up that balloon, all the dots move away from each other, right? So they said, couldn't we just be one of those dots on a balloon being blown up, and then everything moves away from us, and that would explain it? And they said, yep, that explains it. And they came up with the idea of the expanding universe. So everything you know about the universe is expanding, and that's just to keep away from the fact that we are the center. So those things are starting to be revealed now. Those things are starting to come out. And so your entire cosmology is basically a lie. The universe is not expanding at crazy speeds, faster than the speed of light. There's no such thing as dark matter. That they say 95% of the universe is made up of something that we've never observed. And that's 95% of the observable universe is made up of something we've never observed. So again, I get it. People they're like listening to me like, you didn't go to college. What's your credentials to be able to say these things? And we should thank God that not everybody has those credentials, because that is your certification of indoctrination, right? So
Yeah.
If I had those credentials, then I'm not going to be the person here telling you that it's wrong. I'm going to be the person here arguing on its behalf, saying, no, all the science has gone into it, and we've got all this evidence, and it's not really evidence when people are basing things off faulty foundations, right? So the idea of peer review, they love that one. But again, imagine that we've got some cult or some sect that is, in charge of the beliefs of the world, and we are passing all the new beliefs to them first. And they're looking at it, saying, no, this doesn't work. No, this doesn't work. So only the things that meet their specifications are allowed to be called science.
And here's the poster child. So there's someone in the chat saying, stay focused on Epic. Don't cause another crash with conspiratardom, please.
Yes.
All right, Saramer. This is exactly why you should sign up for this Equinox Summit. So maybe you could, do a little Control-Alt-Delete on your operating reality and go in and actually, with an open mind, listen to what these folks have to say. Now,
Well, let me just say real quick about the conspiratard kind of thing. When we fall for these words that have been put out there that, nobody came up with that on their own. They've been told that. But imagine what we're doing when you talk about a conspiracy theorist, is they're looking into actual people who are committing conspiracies, right? So it'd be the equivalent of somebody, I'm out killing people every day, and somebody starts looking into me, and then I start pointing fingers at them and calling them a murder addict. that person's a murder addict. That person's and everyone starts calling them a murder addict. Well, yeah, they're actually looking into the murders that you're doing. So these people are actually committing conspiracies. That's what they do. Everything's a conspiracy. The neighborhood or the two corner gas stations will usually be in contact with each other, and they kind of choose to, I'll go 3 cents higher than you today. You go 3 cents higher than me tomorrow. And they collude, to kind of get one over on you. It happens every day in almost every aspect of our lives. We're being lied to, so to just all of a sudden dismiss people that want to talk about those things, you're just going to lead more and more people to fall for traps.
Yeah. And the bottom line is Epic is for everyone. And you know what? I did the show with you all, and I recognize that it violates some people's sensitivities. Now, I have a way different open mind, and I auto hoax pretty much everything that comes from, these self-ordained sources of authority. So that's just me. That's why I had a channel banned 7 times in 2020 for talking about the boogie virus. And but there are those of you who are you there saying stay focused on Epic, don't cause another crash with conspiratardism, please. Well, screw you. You are the one that are trying to censor my channel. I would, for some reason, my freaking hide comments isn't working. Otherwise, I would censor you because I don't tell me what to do on my channel. And let me tell you, it's folks like Jaron and the folks who are going to be at that conference this weekend that respect Epic Cash and what it stands for. Epic is for everyone, even your quote unquote conspiratards. And I guarantee you, they're way a hell of a lot smarter than you are.
Well, another thing there is the rationale of this person for why not to talk about these things. They said, don't cause another crash, which actually, no, that's not right. That 300,000 that you think you're talking about was a guy with an individual beef that had a malicious agenda that had nothing to do with the shape of the realm or anyone's belief about anything non-epic. So that's not real. And the other thing is that the closed-minded people that believe in dogma and orthodoxy and go along with the herd, those are not people that are into Epic. At a minimum, the wild fringe of those that are getting frisky with their open-mindedness are into BTC, the conformist choice. Right. They're not coming here. Oh, privacy. Well, money launderers, terrorists, and drug dealers are going to do bad things with that. We can't have that. We need to split the middle and have some common sense regulation here and get in bed with the banks. So all in all, whether it's Dave Weiss, Jaron, Ab, David Avocado, the people involved in this other summit, those are our crowd. They're the ones who are engaging. They're the ones who are buying. The people who have too much fluoride blocking their pineal gland and have a closed mind to create scary ideas are not ever going to come here. And also, as those people stay away, everybody's going to come in here later. Those are the ones. I mean, who's going to buy from us at 100,000 a coin, 10,000 a coin, 1,000 a coin? It's those guys that are driven by economic reality because they've waited in the CBDC boiling pot for too long, and now they've got 1% of the wealth they used to have, and they want to protect that. What do? Okay, let me buy Epic at $10,000 a coin.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't get me wrong. I get it, because look at the name of our event. It is the True Earth, Equinox Summit, not the F word, because the F word is triggering to people. We know that. Right. And if I'm walking down the street today and somebody says, "What are you doing this weekend?" and I say, "Oh, I'm running a True Earth convention," they would be like, "Oh, cool." But if I said the F word, they would throw rocks at me. So we get it. We get it that there's some trigger words. Those things have been taught to us. They're not things that you came up with on your own. You were taught that there's one thing that's dumber than any other belief. And
so
why would they do that?
Saramar, the 300,000, again, to reinforce, it was not dumped because any of this type of conversation. Check your ignorance in at the door. Please go back. Anything that has to do with, I've done show after show explaining it. So if you have not been here for the ride, don't make false assertions. It pisses me off because you're absolutely wrong. And I hold true. Epic is for everyone, even welcome to the show, but don't, create false assertions. That's just bad form. You're ignorant to what happened. It was one person who dumped to harm the community because we said, stop the shit with the anti-Semitic memes. And that triggered him. Nobody tells me what to do.
And also, where do we draw the line? So
right.
We're not going to talk about that because it offends you. And there's an infinite list of things that if 1% of people get offended about something, now we're not supposed to talk about that. The number of people who want to talk about megahertz and gigahashes and consensus protocols and stuff is vanishingly small to those that just are everyday people going about their lives. Everybody has their things that they're interested in. And so if we connect with people where they are and engage with them on that basis, like here, we're the only crypto people talking at that event. Well, guess what? The people at crypto conferences don't want to hear from us. They have their own sacred cows and agendas and narratives that shall not be threatened. The minute Michael Saylor or Max Kaiser or any of these maxis gets on a debate with me, I will absolutely fillet them, but they know that, and they're never going to engage. They're going to ignore and hope that we just quietly go away.
Sarimer, you got me really thinking now. Screw it. Hey, Dark Star, don't follow up with Mike Adams because he talks about truth and stuff like that. That'll probably break Sarimer's brain and he'll be offended and his panties will be in a wad. No, Sarimer, time to drop your huggies. Recognize Epic is for everyone. And I respect that you have an opinion, but don't tell me what to do on my show. All right. Enough said about that. Okay. Well, I know we're kind of ending on a little bit of heat, but that kind of stuff when, it's like I work really, really hard to be able to do an outreach and be able to put us in a position to where we can do giveaways to communities that have been censored. Do you not get it, Sarimer? That 1.5 million people, that's the reach from this weekend. 1.5 million. So don't give me shit about one person who sold 300,000 Epic, 331,000 actually, because you don't know what you're talking about. Don't cast a net to this weekend and who we're going to be speaking about. You don't have to go and watch. Now you should, but you won't. I know you won't because you're smarter than everyone else. You're a smart boy out there. But I will tell you that it is the 1.5 million people reach that I'm really excited about. This is growing Epic Cash, people who will get it, that will listen to Max this weekend, that will be like, oh my gosh, privacy, censorship resistance, confiscatable resistance, all of that. I didn't know about Epic Cash. What did Mike Adams say? He said, I don't know about Epic Cash. We are so undiscovered. So wouldn't you think that people who have been censored, that have been cut off from the system, that those are the people who are going to be open to hear our message, to where we are a safe harbor as we create an alternative system? This is the flashpoint. This is where it starts. Sarimer, I want you to go out there, launch a YouTube channel, and I want you to appeal to all of the people in your operating reality. You go do this, and then let's compare notes in 2 years. All right. Let's see where we are. And I wish you luck. I really do, because I believe Epic is for everyone, but you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not for those who wish to censor. So sounds to me like that's your gift, censorship. Well, sorry, not in this saloon, buddy. All right. Sorry.
Well, things like word of mouth too are so huge that people don't realize what they could do by just getting this information out about Epic to 2 or 3 people. If you have 500 people and they each talk to 3 people, you can do the math and figure out how quickly that spreads. And that's what I think is missing from a lot of crypto stuff is I don't know if people are afraid to talk to people about it or afraid to bring it up, but really we could move this a lot faster. And so it's awesome to have an event like this to where, however many people attend, let's say it's a couple hundred, are going to all have this information that they're going to go out and, they're all going to tell somebody else. And then from there, it could snowball. So we're hoping.
Dave Weiss is in the house. Saramer, is that your best globe proof?
Yeah, let Dave handle it now. Dave's the attack dog.
the professionals in the town. Oh, by the way, Saramer, hey, why don't you go earn 3 BTC from Dave? Matter of fact, I will host it. Let's do that. Let's set it up. Okay, Saramer, DM me. Dave, I'm pretty sure you're down to where you're 3. If somebody can prove that this realm is a globe, that you will pay 3 BTC, which isn't what it used to be, by the way. But it's maybe take it up to 5 BTC, Dave. But let's do that. Everybody in the chat, if you're down for that, Saramer versus DTRH, please make it be known. Let it be known, and I will arrange. And maybe we could have it like a Friday or Saturday night SmackDown.
Oh, good. Dave's already setting up his live stream right now. So.
All right, Saramer, he's going to DM me. Okay, we're going to do it.
All right,
let's do that. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. So we won't do it this weekend, but I'm sure open to doing it the following weekend. And
you
Max
set up some debates like that to where people can contribute some epic to like a pool.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that you can do great things with it.
I like that. Or even while we're live streaming, being able to have their Epic Pay wallets. And so if somebody wants to vote with their Epic, they can, if you think Dave is making great points, you can just take a picture.
Idea. And you can just have the QR code right on screen. Somebody
Damn right.
Good idea.
And then at the end, we could we could compare notes. Dave Weiss, 382 Epic. Saramer, 0.
You'd get like 2.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, okay. So this weekend, go to tems.live, TEMMS.live. Yes. Please sign up. Support Max. And that is going to be cycled back into Jaron and the event. And Jaron is then going to make sure that that it gets it somehow goes into advancing Epic Cash, which is going to be buying it on the open market. And maybe you can even keep track of that. So the next time we do this, we can look back and say, you had, let's just say 200, I'm just saying, let's say you had $250 worth of Epic. You bought how many coins? And just put a marker in that, do a spreadsheet, and the next conference we'll take a look at that. And let's say that $250 then has a value of $750. That'd be kind of cool to keep track of that just as we go. And one day, hey, Jaron, we're talking 2028. That $250 worth of Epic is worth how much? 2.5 million.
I'll be on the beach in Aruba or something. So I probably won't take that call. It's going to be awesome. And I think that I'll do that. So, because it's not money we expect to have anyway, it's supposed to go to you. So we'll just put it into a account and keep it there. And it will be kind of a summit account, if you will. Yeah, that's cool. And, again, sorry, DK Miner. I guess Jaron's another pump and dumper. No, we're educate and hold. So, okay, Max, the last thing I want to do, if you don't mind, or maybe we've already gone over, maybe I'm going to wait till Friday for this, to be able to talk about the person who was concerned about how Epic Cash is going to be secured once the Epic coin.
Let's leave that for Friday, because we're already over 92 minutes. Everybody who's here watching, 35, thank you 43 likes. That's great. So awesome.
Excellent. Okay, Jaron, thank you. Looking forward to this weekend. Get me my link because I can't find it.
I sent it to you.
Okay, great.
You should have it in Telegram.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, Max, good luck on, or good skill, I should say, on Saturday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. I can't wait. It's gonna be an absolute blast, and I can't wait. I'm gonna be spending the whole time, just, spirit of full disclosure, I built an amazing fire pit in my back area, and I'm gonna take my iPad and I'm gonna log in, and I'm gonna be sitting feeding the fire the whole time and
Nice.
just enjoying it. So
And you don't have to watch it live, so people know that you get it in perpetuity. So if you can only
that's
attend
good.
Max's presentation, and it's a 2-day event, so we know that we don't expect you to sit in front of your computer all day Friday and Saturday. So all of it will be available right after, and it's all for forever. So you get it all.
That's cool. That's great to know,
Yep.
because I'm one of these. I like my cigar walks, and so this would be something that I can totally
Yep.
see me.
And on it'll also be the audio version and the video. So if you wanted just the MP3 to listen to as a podcast, that'll be available too the day after the event.
Awesome. You guys think of it all. And I just have studio envy looking at your back studio. It's just like,
I did it because of you. If you remember, I mean, you were
true.
I had to ask you. You got me told me what lights to get, and kind of told me your setup. I thought that was a real window into your yard originally.
Yeah.
So
It's the same view every day.
yeah, mine's just those are fake bricks. They look real, but they're not real.
Yep.
So yeah,
They look great. You did awesome.
Thank you much.
All right, Grasshopper. Okay, Max is already gone. Everybody, and Saramer, I can't wait for the debate with Dave, and bring it.